Africa in the early Cretaceous period. The dinosaur standing here is one that I bet a lot of you know. Can you guess what it is? Did you say Spinosaurus?
Yes, the sign's right there.
You got it! Spinosaurus is one of the largest carnivores to ever walk the earth. But it mostly ate fish. We know that because Spinosaurus's teeth have been found embedded in fossilized bones of large fish. Although they have also been found in the bones of other dinosaurs. Spinosaurus is a creature that was a mystery for a long time. Its fossils were discovered in 1912, but they were destroyed during World War II, when the museum they were in was hit during a bombing raid. It wasn't until the 1990s when Spinosaurus's fossils were rediscovered. In fact, we've learned more about the Spinosaurus in the last 20 years than we have in the last century. We now know that Spinosaurus was a massive predator that lived in and out of the water in marshy waterways of what we now know to be northern Africa, preying on fish the size of cars.
Hey, Dustin, is this a secure line?
Sure, I think. I just turned off the mic. Yeah, they definitely can't hear us now. What's up?
I just noticed that the T-Rexes aren't in their areas. Do you know if they've been moved to another location?
I haven't heard anything about moving them anywhere. They should both be there. I can check in with Nick and Marty to see if they know anything about this.
That would be great. I'll organize a search. We need to find them soon, but we cannot get our guests worried. Let's keep this on the down low.
Roger that.
We're moving through time again, folks. Welcome to the late Cretaceous. The Spinosaurus we just saw spent a lot of time in and around water. And that's where we're going. Welcome to the Western Interior Seaway. That's a shallow sea that stretched from the Gulf of Mexico to the Arctic Ocean during the Cretaceous period.
We already saw
the Great Plains of what is now the United States and Canada used to be underwater. Lots of marine fossils are found in places like Kansas. The first creature here is the long-necked Elasmosaurus. It's a relative of the Plesiosaurus, but much bigger. Second is Archala, the biggest sea turtle known to exist. It had a leathery shell called carapace, and just
that one looks like a prehistoric turtle.
It probably laid eggs on land. The huge, fearsome creature is Tylosaurus. A relative of Mosasaurus, its name means the knob lizard because of a bony protrusion on the end of its snout that might have been used to ram into its prey.
Dinosaur.
Tylosaurus is a member of the Squamata family. That's the group of reptiles that includes lizards and snakes. They had forked tongues for tasting scents in the water. They even had a row of teeth in the back of their mouths for holding onto prey in the water. And that scary fish that you see that looks like a cross between a piranha and a tuna is Xiphactinus. Xiphactinus was a voracious predator that lived in the oceans all over the world. It could reach lengths of up to 20 feet long. If you have any other questions about these creatures or anything else you see on the tour, feel free to text Park Ranger Marty at 844-411. That's 844-346-6411. Also, while doing so, be sure to stay inside your vehicles for the duration of the tour. With all of these aquatic creatures, the last thing you want to do is get your phone wet.
What?
Hey Marty, it's Dustin. I have a weird question here, and don't freak out, but have you seen the T-Rexes?
Well, they were in the enclosure an hour ago when I went in to feed them. Are they not still there? We have a tour heading that way right now.
Okay, sorry, I hate to ask you this, but you didn't happen to turn off the invisible fence, did you?
Don't be silly, Dustin. How else was I supposed to get in there?
Marty, the fence only shocks dinosaurs that are chipped. You don't need to turn it off to walk in.
Oh. Well, I guess I learn new things every day.
This is serious, Marty. I need to call the security team right now to get those T-Rexes back before the tour gets to them. Or they get to the tour.
I'm sorry, Dustin. I didn't mean to cause any trouble.
You never do, Marty. You never do.
Oh, look at the furry guy.
Tricera, stop the audio tour
Don't
until
do that.
we reach the next scene. Welcome back to Asia, in late Cretaceous period. Here we have 3 kinds of dinosaurs from Mongolia, starting with Velociraptor. Despite what you may have seen in movies, Velociraptor is not 6 feet tall, but actually about 3 feet tall, 6 feet long, and about 20 to 30 pounds. Just think of an extra scary turkey. We also know that at least one Velociraptor attacked a Protoceratops, the next dinosaur in this scene. This is thanks to the fossil of a Velociraptor and Protoceratops found, who died still locked in combat. The Protoceratops broke the Velociraptor's arm with its powerful beak, moments before they were both buried in sand by a landslide. The other dinosaur in the scene, Oviraptor, has an unfortunate name, meaning egg. When this dinosaur was discovered, it was found over a nest of eggs thought to belong to Protoceratops. After later research, scientists realized it was sitting on a nest of its own eggs. But the name stuck and is still debated if Oviraptor actually ate eggs. Here at Jurassic Quest, ours take theirs sunny side up every morning for breakfast.
Yet another dinosaur from Mongolia is the
That one
large
looks like a chicken
Therizinosaurus
dinosaur.
you see here, with the long claws. The claws on its hands could grow up to 3 feet long, making them the longest claws in the animal kingdom. Most of what we know about Therizinosaurus comes from animals closely related to it. The only fossils we have of this animal are its shoulders, arms, and hands. It is believed to be an herbivore, but we are still looking for more fossils to know for sure. The dinosaur next to it is a Lorotitan, lived in what is now eastern Russia. It's in a special group of duck-billed dinosaurs called Lambeosaurs, which are famous for the elaborate crests on their heads. These crests would have certainly served as display structures, but may also have been used in some Lambeosaurs as resonating chambers to make sounds used to communicate effectively through the herd. Speaking of communication, I've been directed to ask you all to keep an eye out for any free-roaming dinosaurs that may or may not be wandering around the park.
Hi, Park Ranger Marty here. Hope you're not mad at me about accidentally releasing the T-Rexes. Anyway, in this scene you see Chantersaurus. Chantersaurus is a tyrannosaur from China and is closely related to Paleoramus from Mongolia. Both have awfully long, narrow noses for members of the tyrannosaur family. We're not sure what those noses may have been used for. Maybe to cut through water, making them faster, more accurate fishermen, or maybe they were specializing in smaller, faster prey, not needing a powerful bite of a T-Rex. Speaking of which, if you see one of them, please let one of our 4 security officers know. Now, scientists only described this dinosaur in 2014, so there are still a lot of unanswered questions about it. But I can tell you this much. In the United States, we do not typically refer to this dinosaur as Chantersaurus. We typically just call it Pinocchio Rex.
Now we travel to Argentina. The big animal you see in this scene is Giganotosaurus, arguably one of the largest meat-eating dinosaurs. Though it may look a lot like T-Rex, it's actually a much different animal. Unlike a T-Rex, it has 3 claws on each hand, a lighter bone structure, and teeth that were designed for slicing. Unlike a T-Rex's, which were meant for crushing through bones and ripping car tops open. Speaking of which, if you see one of our missing T-Rexes, please let one of our 3 security guards know where.
3 security guards, used to be 4.
Second largest in the scene is Carnotaurus, which means meat-eating bull because of peculiar horns on its head. It might have used its horns as a weapon against other predators. It's a very funny-looking dinosaur, not just because of the horns, but because of its tiny little arms. Carnotaurus has one of the smallest arms of any known dinosaur, even smaller than the T-Rex. The small dinosaur you see in this scene is Albersaurus, a small, fast predator that lived in Argentina during the late Cretaceous period. It's believed to have eaten insects.
Looks like a bird and a prehistoric reptile.
Please pause your audio tour until your dinosaur herd migrates on up to the next scene.